I wanted to be this ideal father for my kids. And I just always feel like I'm missing the mark.
Yeah.
But like when I really sit back and chill, I'm like, yo, I'm killing it out here.
Yeah,
Like I'm doing a really good job.
Right.
Yeah. But like I spend most of my time feeling like I'm not.
Yeah.
And beat myself up for
not
what
feeling
I didn't
worthy.
do. So you can do that with ministry, like with anything when you're trying to live authentically. Like your mistakes seem to validate the inauthenticity you're afraid that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and
a lot of times you magnify your mistakes more so than anything else.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know, you have a tendency to magnify it, and sometimes to the point where you beat yourself up.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to the ministry piece.
Yeah.
You know, with me, it's always been a thing of, one, I never wanted to be like that dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just, that ain't me. And so for me, it was, I called it Christian identity. You know what I mean? And so for a long time, I've had an issue with that. Even when it came to, I never wanted nobody to call me a minister. Like, whatever I do, I'm doing it because, one, I know it's something I should do, but I never want a title.
Yeah.
I've never really wanted a title.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to a young brother about things he needs to get done and how to get his life, you know, in order or whatever, and I'm having that conversation because, one, I care, but not because, and it has nothing to do with a title that I hold.
Yeah.
And for me, it's always been a thing about, one, and I ain't never fit in anyway. Like, I never fit in. And a lot of times it's because I made sure that I didn't fit in. Right. I didn't want to fit in.
Yeah.
But that whole title thing for me has always been, I just never wanted it.
Yeah.
And even, it's a thing that even if you don't want it, it doesn't mean that that's not what you should be.
That's a fact, man.
But that's the piece though, man. Like there's a movie called The Two Popes, right? And it's Anthony Hopkins and somebody else. I ain't see the whole thing. It's like the first 20 minutes. So I came vouch.
Yeah, because I was about to ask.
I came vouch for the movie.
Thanks.
But it's Anthony Hopkins in it, so it's like it's got to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it got to be decent. Yeah.
But it's him another pope, and I guess they're like voting for who should take over. And he's saying I never wanted leadership. I never wanted that. I don't want a title. And the other guy leans over and says, and that's exactly why you're supposed to have it.
Dang.
You know what I mean? He's like, that's why we need you to lead, because you're not here to try to.
And you know, and my bad, cut you off.
You good.
So I guess this subject is gonna be about identity. That's what we're doing right now.
Probably.
We
had notes, but they out the window.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to identity, there were titles that I was already carrying, right? I come from a background as a drug addict, thief, all types of other things that people have called me, you know.
JB was a drug dealer, so this is reconciliation.
This is great.
Man, come on.
So, you know, all these labels
I'm sorry, I said was.
that get tossed on you through our life. You got some more in the trunk, right?
Man, I'm about to spit this water all over this. My bad. I held it in though. Yeah.
But I think the issue is identity. The world will tell you who you are. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be thug, thought, drug dealer, drug addict, or whatnot, and we'll claim that. And I think I claimed those things for so long. Now that life has changed and I see that God told me something different, I was still questioning it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
do I believe what God said?
Do I believe what he said? Because he didn't say I was any of that.
Yeah.
He told me that I was made in his image. So if that's the case, I'm definitely not none of that. I wasn't made to be any of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just getting it from your heart to your head.
Yeah.
That, you know, you were made for greater things, but
well, I mean, yeah, it's
got it all the way down yet.
It's identity, but going back to authenticity, because like I always tell people the two biggest questions you can ever ask is Jesus who he said he is, and can you trust his book?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And so, you know, and people go to, can you trust where it came from? But like in another sense to what you said, like, do I believe the words that are said in here about me?
Yeah.
Do I when God says I'm valuable and worth it, am I going to call him a liar about how much I believe that? You know what I mean? And that's, you know what I'm saying?
That's essentially what you're doing.
It is what you're doing. But
sounds
it's like
terrible though.
It sounds terrible when you say it that way, but I think God's patience with us is like he understands.
Yeah.
all of the lies that we're always trying to unravel because we're constantly being inundated and flooded in culture with lies and esteem things, and you only matter if you have this much or smash this many chicks or had this much money and like all of that stuff. Like I'm constantly fighting against the, dang, I thought by this age I'd be making this much money and I wouldn't have to tell my kids no to this trip. I thought I'd be able to just stroke a check. Man, I'm not as good as my friend over here because they can't. I'm still fighting that stuff because I'm like, I believe that over what God said about, but you're a great father.
And what's whack about that is that's kind of like saying I need accessories to be somebody.
Dang, that's dope.